We are moving into the digital age, and online speaking may probably be the most in thing right now and probably in the future. Wouldn't you agree? So if you want to be a charismatic speaker, whether it is just to speak online or perhaps to do your Toastmasters competition, then this is the 5 must-know things to become a charismatic speaker. Hi everyone, my name is Coach Mahathir and welcome to this channel. If you're new, consider liking, sharing and subscribing so more people will be able to learn and become better speakers together. Are you ready? Let's go. The first thing that you must know is to be 3D. Now, what does it mean by being 3D? You see, as a speaker on the set, usually what happens is we tend to move to the left and we tend to move to the right. And this is the only thing that we do. But the thing is, when it comes to online presenting, if you really want to stand out, you could always go forward or you could go backwards. So when you have this 3D space rather than just be on a 2D space, you'll be able to interact and appear more charismatic and engaging. So for example, if there's something that you really want to speak closer to the audience, perhaps you could do something like this. And then if you want to talk about something big and far wide, you can go back and talk like this. So these are just some techniques that you could try to implement in your next online presentation. Now, I did something like this in my Toastmasters competition in a district contest in 2021. So you can check it out right now. Son, listen and understand. Stop crying and toughen up. That was my tough mama. And she would never cry, never lie, and her expectations were extremely high. Now, tip number 2 is to use a clip-on mic. When we are speaking, we don't want to use our earphones or we don't want to use our device's audio. Now, the reason behind this is because, well, you could tell the audio quality is just terrible. And the second thing, if you have that earphone, guess what? Your movements is going to be so restricted. And this happened to me before. When I spoke, I started flipping my earphones and guess what? It flew out here. I have to quickly put it back. I believe I'm not the only one here. If you have faced this problem too, comment down below. So the clip-on mic that I'm using right now is the X-Tuga, which is X-T-U-G-A CM01 model. And if you can hear right now, if you think the quality is okay, then you can always check it out on Lazada, Shopee or Amazon just to find out more about this clip-on mic. And that's X-Tuga CM01. So this will be very beneficial because your hands will be more free to move around. You'll be able to use all the gestures. You'll be able to speak just like you're speaking live on the stage. And that is what makes a charismatic speaker. Tip number 3, and that is the 80-20 eye contact rule. Now, I get it when you are doing a Zoom meeting or when you're having an online platform situation, you want to always look at the audience's reaction when you're speaking, correct? That's normal and that's totally fine. But the thing is, when you are looking at the screen, you are clearly not giving them the eye contact that the audience are yearning for. So the one thing that you want to do is 80% of the time, your eyes should be locked at the lens. 20% of the time, you could look down on the screen just to observe their emotions, their reactions. Tip number 4, and that is your positioning. I'm sure you heard of the rule of thirds. And what this means is basically, you can separate yourself by having that grid on your screen so that you know whether you are center or you are leaning too much on one side. So try your best to be at the center with very little head space and ample amount of hand space so the audience will be fully focused towards you as a presenter, because you don't want your head to be cut off or your hands to be like all the way down here, right? You want to be able to present comfortably with your hands just like this. Now, tip number 5, and this is the final one, stand when you present. Now, I know right now I'm sitting down, but when you are speaking, especially when you're giving an online presentation or a competition, it is really good if you could stand and present. Now, here's why. When you stand and present, the energy, the enthusiasm is way different compared to sitting down and present. Agree or not? Also, when you stand and present, you allow yourself that freedom of movements, the freedom of going back and forth, just like we mentioned about 3D. And overall, it is a different feel because when an audience is seeing the speaker stand and present, they command the stage. That's the difference there. So try your best to stand and present. So that's it for today's episode. I really hope that you found this video useful, and if you did, why don't give it a like, a share, and subscribe so that more people will be able to improve in their speaking skills. So with that, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!